Hey, what's going on? It's your girl Empress Zinga, and this is a special Cropover interview. We're celebrating 50 years of Cropover with you guys, and I am very excited to introduce to you or reintroduce to you a really dear friend of mine. We've been friends for a long time, but you know him mostly as one of the vets in Barbados for makeup and artistry, but there is so much history. I hope that this little amount of time that we have, we're able to give you some information on the Adzil Stuart. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for inviting me. What an introduction.
Yes. The sneak peek to all of this that we really were excited to speak about is that Adzil was one of the first people at the helm of when Cropover was birthed, as I say, in Barbados. And we at 50 years. He told me off camera that he started this when he was 16 years old. You know what 16 years old? You can imagine Adzil at 16?
I can't even imagine.
Tell me how all of this started, Adzil.
So we always had a girth of interest in culture. Coming out of a drama background and a performing artist background, used to dance with Barbados Dance Theatre. And I was a member of the Barbados Green Room Players.
Okay.
So really, that was the cultural aspect. So it would have been Peter Allen, all those folks at that time, Wendell Smith, the late Wendell Smith, all of us that were buddies. We meet at Green Room, and every year we would do productions and Queen's Park, which is now the Daphne Joseph Hackett Theatre. Plus, I came upon the defeat of Daphne Joseph Hackett.
Oh, wow.
I would have been one of the people along myself with Annette and Nias, the thing that Daphne used to have us tagging about with, and you got Daphne with several baskets and stuff. Come to rehearsals for Bimsha, all back then. And before, in 68, 69 Bimsha, Daphne was the main person that put these productions and stuff together. Sidney Harris would have done the million. I think Florence Spence would have written those early scripts.
Okay.
That used to happen at around Independence time. Dr. Cynthia Wilson, all those were Rosemary Nealon, who's Rosemary Wilkinson there, Hetty Atkinson, who's Hetty Workman there. All of us. The late Carson that just passed away, Everton Allen.
You called some real big names there, though.
But we were all, running around together. When they started Cropover in 74, it would have started under the Board of Tourism. And I think the whole idea was that Barbados used to go into a quiet zone after the winter. What was the winter season? And that winter season tourist season would run all the way down to about April.
Okay.
May, by the beginning of May, it would have fizzled out. And nothing much really happened in the island. Even the crop season ended then. So people that worked in the crop would be home the whole summer. Children would be home the whole summer. We had nothing to do. There wasn't devices like how people have now to keep us busy. So we either outside playing or doing stuff. So I think the Board of Tourism, they try to say, well, then what can we do to lure tourists to Barbados in those off months? So after doing some research, they realized, they used to have, the slaves and the factory workers years ago, after the end of the crop, they used to dress up the good dray carrots and dance around the thing and do their own thing, and that was, a crop over thing. So they came up somehow. There was Junior Marishaw, I think, Julia Senior. There were other people like the late Jean Holder and stuff who was in CTRC at the time. The board, I can't remember all the people, but it was primarily a Board of Tourism thing when they started it, and it started in June. Okay. So the first one, they ran it in the month of June. So that's when they said, let us do the Bridgetown Market in Broad Street, and they had taken the traffic out of Broad Street. So people used to perform and other things like that happened down there. And they had not planned a whole month of events. You had Cropover fairs at the different plantations. So that's where it started, really, with the plantation fairs, the folk singers, Sing Out Barbados, all those used to take part in the beginning. So hence the Green Room Players, all the people that were on the island that were theatrically prone, or people would say, quote unquote, the mad people, because they always figured that people like us that would want to make fools of ourselves and entertain other people were crazy. But anyway, it went down that way. So, but it was one small nucleus of people that did everything. When they came with this crowd, I said, well, this is quite interesting. Let me get involved. let's get involved in this.
Something that you
So
like.
everybody then got on board, doing different things and helping with certain areas. Because in those days, you just jump on board and help. It ain't like no, that is a whole money makers.
So when you guys
situation.
came together, it was more for the love of the
For the
art
love of
and
the arts,
culture.
we wanted to do something to help boost the tourism, and you were interested in them just to be a part of something new. So to be a part of this thing at the beginning, that is really what fueled us. So it was just more about having the fun, doing the things, because it was something different, and you wanted something to do and having the fun. So the Crop Over Festival really started that way, and the big thing it's rolled out with was the cart parade. So that's what they took from the plantation at the time. So in those days, you had these donkey carts were still there, dray carts people were still using, because most of the factories like T. Herbert, the lumber yard, and all those, still people will go down and buy the lumber, and they will get. Now you get a transport truck to carry it to your house, or delivery, you pay that. Yeah. The people in the little villages, they ain't got no money to pay, and there wasn't that many lorries in them days to carry anything anyway. But what would happen is that was the trade for the donkey cart man. So the donkey cart man would be lined up either by T. Herbert or the cotton factory where the courthouse is now, and those places that sold lumber, plantations and all those. And when you buy, your mother will go and buy, grandmother, not your mother, will go and buy some lumber to do some repairs and take to the house after getting the little crop money from working in the crop.
Yeah.
So you buy them off on the donkey cart, and the donkey cart will bring them to your house for you, and you pay them whatever you pay. So they said, how we can do this cart thing? And I remember myself, it was Roy Ward. He's no longer living in Barbados. But we part of this thing, all right, we can do this cart parade. So how we can get this thing done? Some of the business houses we had to the hotels, like West Coast hotels, and them, it was this new thing. They said, get later tourists, this is going to be a novelty for dressing up these carts. We don't mind dressing the carts. We will get designers to design carts, but how we can find out the carts? Stick a pin in that. Roy Warner myself traveled the length and breadth of Barbados. Looking for carts. So every house that we pass out a donkey cart, we jump out, knock on the house. This is your cart? But we have this thing going on. So we need to, and we explain to the people what it is that we want to do. Would you be interested in taking part? So how we can, so no, you don't worry about it. We can organize everything. You just tell us if you're willing to let us use your cart and stuff. We will give you a little something for it. So said, so done. So we went back now with this list of donkey carts all across the island. People that had donkey carts and stuff, and dray carts. And then they sit down and start to match them up with the different hotels. Those people that gave sponsorship and stuff would have agreed, all right, yeah, I will sponsor a cart. So that first cart parade that left Queen's Park, I will never forget it. We had 42 that Saturday morning, 42 carts. 12 dray carts and about 12 floats, because we used the back of the vans and things like BIDC and Marriott's, and those people did floats. Hilton had a cart that they pulled by 2 horses. I remember they put together this cart and had these big barrels from Mount Gay with rum punch, and these ladies dressed like in the mulatto outfit with the thing, and they just ladling, just like how you would see it on the Dolly's ball, they ladling the rum punch and handing it down to the people, and you have the music playing and the people jubilating. The Saturday morning when we pull out of Queen's Park, this parade, to go around town and back up in Queen's Park, we would have left through the Scotiabank gate, which is the one where the opposite to where the vans come out, and hang right passing the Old Queen's College, which is now the Ministry of Education, straight downtown, over the Charles Duncan and Neil Bridge, what had been the Empire Theatre and stuff, head over the Chamberlain Bridge, which is the bridge that is the lift bridge.
It don't swing, it lift.
Down the Wharf Road, all the way down to Pelican Site, and come back up Broad Street.
That's a jump.
It was a jump. It became a jump because you have tuck band, all kind of people playing music on recorded music, everything, because there was always calypsonians, but there was no calypso at that time. We did a lot of social commentary. Actually, music that we would have jumped to at that time was very tame to what we have now, what we've evolved to. And we come right back out and then enter through the gate there by Harrison College, the gate by St. Michael's Road. They fling that big gate and you come right back up into Queen's Park through there, and the whole thing would finish in Queen's
So
Park.
you had no brand or nothing, you just go home. You land back there and go
You land
home.
back there, have a good time. People meet one another. People had stalls out.
Also spoke about that Kadooment wasn't a part of Crop Over as
Kadooment
yet.
came in 78.
Okay.
After the Board of Tourism ran it for 74, 5, I think they added a Calypso competition, which I think Destroyer. Some of these details, yeah, I got to double check, but I'm trusting on the old brain. I think Destroyer would have won that one in 75. Gabby came home in 1976 with Under the Duppy Parasol, which was a production from the theater company in New York. And they came home and did this production. But Gabby was the one person that didn't go back. So he
So
stayed.
he would have-
So he
okay.
came later. I think in 78, then the Ministry of Culture would have taken over the whole thing, because then they realized that it could grow into a festival. We haven't had a carnival since the days of, I think Marvel Manning may have been the last carnival queen when we did for the short time that we did what we considered a carnival. Like, that was in 62. But I remember my parents taking me down to Kensington Oval and I saw Marvel on the back of a float. I thought she was such a beautiful, she looked unreal. She was so
Marvel Manning was a
pretty
beauty.
and tiny. Lovely thing. I remember. So I have like visuals of different things that I remember. When they took over in 78 with the help of Elambe and stuff like that, they decided they're going to introduce this Kadooment. Because Elambe was very big for finding Barbadian names. So hence that's why the Kadooment, and what you used to be the folk presentation and stuff like that became then the Kahabla pot, because it was a mixed pot of different things. You had gospel, you had sing out Barbadians, you had everybody. So it was a mix of all the talents. So that's why he came up with the name the Kahabla pot. And Kadooment was a happening, in Barbados.
A
So
big
what
spectacle.
Kadooment is going down the road, it was a spectacle. So that's how the name Kadooment would have born as a big thing at that time. So really this year is 50 years for the actual birth of the Crop Over Festival. But in 2028 will be 50 years for Kadooment. People came up with different ideas.
They had different costumes and stuff.
They made a lot of stuff from whatever natural things they had.
Okay. So not necessarily material that you will now have to go and buy now in this time, but people made the space.
They made something. No, they were creative people that designed stuff, but whatever materials we found in Barbados, we created it with that. But it evolved into now you're actually ordering costumes and began to feathers and beads and quarter yard of material. When back in them days you used to wear more cloth.
Yes.
And you had a full costume. With a standard.
Explain what a standard is for my age group and younger, because I grew up.
A standard would be like a pole,
They even had them in the 90s still. I think probably before used to chip with them too. So you had the little poles with a decorative thing at the top, and the people used to go down the road with these things, for want of a better word, a spear. I don't want to call it that, but
like a spear.
But it looked like a spear.
That would have correlated with whatever the costume was.
So
if the costume was a Kahabla spot, the spear would probably be burning fire. Something like that, Because I remember in 78, that first Kadooment. I think, Barbadian society is a society that need to wait and see things happen. So they came back to the mad people, which is the cultural people that got involved. That's how come you get involved in these things at an early stage, because we were the ones that were
trying something.
We're daring. So Kadooment, we never tried this thing. So we jump in costume. So Philippa Tomlin, who lived here at the time, late Robert Weeks, you had designers like Winston Jordan, Marcia Chandler, because some people would have had come from the Trinidadian background, because we had a very big Trinidadian women's club. Before we went further with that, during the Crop Over, the next event that used to happen was the Trinidad Women's Club used to organize an old mass function that used to happen at Marine House. Marine House no longer exists, that's where Marine is now. But the old Marine Hotel, they used to do an old mass. So you could get together in groups either in your neighborhood, whatever, and decide how you come in. If you want to come in as cane cutters, if you want to come in as whoever. Barbados Theatre, they had one a year. I think they did a band called Transport Board.
Okay.
So when the Dr. Bill said he came out first, and he had a big piece of tree too, and his sign was the Transport Board. So that you see how the area there you had bus breakdowns, somebody dressed in the thing and all down here stuff, the bus breakdown. See, late Mary Rose came out with all her toe bandage up with this big oversized bandage with this red mercure comb, and she was the tour bus. Heather Ford had on like 3 layers. What that man used to wear, they used to call them sliders. What we used to call boxers now. The big back boxers, 3 days and tear up. So she was the bus behind. Then someone else had on a leotard, and all the bottom we had pinned with sweets. She was sweet bottom bus.
I understand that now.
So Rosemary wore a short little skirt. I remember with fishnet stockings, open the hair because she had long hair, and her little purse, and she's going across there, and her sign was "Fares Gone Up." Because so the pun was on these things. It was because see, I tried to remember different characters, and they had the bus overload. And, no, it was fun. That night I roll up on the floor.
So this is something too that I find that is missing a lot within what's happening now.
Yeah, it used to be really a fun thing between that and the fairs that used to happen at the plantation. Yeah. Fairs at Buckley, you had fairs at Spencer's plantation. You go down to St. Lucie, down there, and every Saturday was a different fair. People going down to these fairs, and these fairs had a lot of old things with the stick clicking and the worry and the catching the grease pig and climbing the grease pole. Very community driven. There was also the plantation feast where people would dress up.
People had dressed up like the old planter class and would like model at the fairs and stuff and things. I remember that.
We had fun. We had fun.
What was your favorite memory of the beginnings of Crop Over?
I used to like the car parade. We took part 1 year and they did a horn of plenty. It was woven out of straw. This horn of plenty on the back of the car, and the back. The horn plenty opened at the back of the drinker, and they had it filled with vegetables. I don't know, we got all them vegetables and things. Like all these from the crop. So all these vegetables coming out of this horn of plenty. Wow. All the BV staff and the BV t-shirts, Kerry Robertson, I think would remember things like that. And we jamming behind the band. There was also a Crop Over Queen show that they used to do. Queen shows was prevalent in those days. Paula Hunt had won that. She won it in a costume called Reaper of a Golden Harvest. It was all gold. Wow. So even in the parade, you would have her in the costume on the back of a float going through town, stuff like that. So people evolved into different things. Kaduma, when that first started, we didn't have band houses. Say for instance, Robert, who was my close friend, so I had talked with Robert. He would design a band. He very artistic. He was way ahead of his time. Gather the friends. So everybody would decide, okay, like this section, those that are brave enough to decide, I can take this section and work with it. Go home with that design and go and gather your 20 or 25 friends that be willing to
become the sponsors of that section.
So then all them costumes making at your house.
Oh, Lord.
So Robert driving around to each person's house. So tonight we going and we calculating how much buckram we gonna buy and how much wire to make the headpieces and stuff like that. So he would come and show you how to do things, how to bend it and stuff. So one night we're making all headpieces. Everybody's measurement, you're going to the seamstress. And she making the different pieces and stuff like that. And then it comes down, as we go down closer, it gets into decorating time. So then Robert will come and decorate actually one of the costumes with either the braids, whatever sequins, whatever have to be stuck on. So it's the hoop glue and the contact cement on your finger forever and all of that. And we sat down and actually made these costumes and the kung fu shoes to spray. And
listen, I remember spraying my shoes.
So you're ready now for Kaduma. Everybody now have their own poison to walk with. So in those days, you buy your canteens, the leather canteens that I used to wear, and you got your leather canteen full up with whatever alcohol mix or poison that you plan to drink, and you all set for the road, and your little fanny pack with your money and everything. Cause there ain't a drinks truck. Let me tell you. There wasn't a drink shop.
When you guys were jumping, did you stop like at any smaller shops?
Yes, that's what used to happen.
Yeah,
You had to stop there and buy a flask of rum if you take right out from the little shop that opened, and then you pour it in, you think you're going along down the road. When we bend the corner, you see a snow cone car, everybody stop.
That's a foot crawl, Adzil, than a bus crawl.
Buy out all the bad snow cones. Say he love back the ice factory, and we chipping a guy all the way to the savannah.
Wow.
Because we start by the stadium.
And you ended at Garrison? Okay. No, that I didn't know.
You used to come down Bashal. Straight down Bank Hall, all the way down through White Park Road there and come down.
Got you.
Come around by Harson's College. Bend onto the St. Michael's Road, over the Chamberlain Bridge. Round there by the fire service and stuff like that. Right, yeah. Turn by Bethel Church. Yeah. And straight up the road to the Garrison.
That's a good local look.
That used to be. And sometimes we get in the Garrison in the night. When we get there, they got Mr. Harding up to burn. And they ain't had no lights at the Garrison that time. So when you get up there in the dark, all you got is the lights of the vehicle and the music pumping. And we turn us now there by the clock tower and feed you onto the racetrack. And you jump on the racetrack and everybody now assemble there in the middle of the thing. And the MC will say whatever it is and call the ending of the Crop Over Festival, and you like Mr. Harding, he sing the symbol of hard times, and they start burning Mr. Harding there, but they stop doing that after people start vandalizing it and start pelting rocks at Mr. Harding. Get over emotional and not thinking that if you pelt a rock and it goes through the fire, whoever's standing on the other side, you could hit them. Yeah. So that's how that ceased. But there were a lot of different things that happened, a lot of different community things. And the folk and the art shows, Bridgetown Market carried a lot of art, pottery and paintings and stuff. People actually used to paint. You sit there and paint you and stuff like that.
Okay. I would love to see another controlled burning of Mr. Harding though.
Well, I know how they will organize that. But that was the symbol to end the whole.
Because I feel from everybody who was there at that time to witness it and be a part of it, it felt as though you had your final release.
But the funny thing about it though is the society has changed a lot. Because back in that time, we really lived like a village, the country. And everybody was each other's keeper. So what I'm telling you now on the road, as you say, not only stop by any rum shop, you could stop by anybody's house.
Yeah, and get something.
The society has changed. That can't happen now.
Understood.
You know, people would look out for you. And people would see you on the road and says, come, hold this chicken wing while you jump. They like how you look sweet enough your costume. Hold this chicken wing while you're jumping. I passing on the road and I know your mother. I bringing the whole train with me to your mother's house. Whatever she got, she give me to eat. We could go in and use your mother's bathroom and stuff like that. Because there wasn't no wee trolleys now. Go in there, they do back on the road. So many times the band go along and you running to catch up the band. and keep moving. It used to be fun.
It sounds amazing, Adzil.
But everybody was each other's
keeper.
Everybody was each other's friend. I think the society has changed.
You don't ever think we would go back to that?
I don't know. I would love to see it happen, but I don't know if we will ever go back. I find that the society now, although you have a lot of young people, I don't think a lot of it, what good that young people do now are highlighted. There are those that still doing a lot of good things, but they somehow seem to focus on the negative and the bad in the society. So I've seen the festival now has evolved into a festival that we have not an awful lot. I might get licks for saying this, but we have not an awful lot of what we started with. And it has developed into more or less a festival. Yes, we still have Calypso, but the majority of it now is a party thing. Yeah. The all-inclusive effects and all the different things like that. That is what make the festival now. But a lot of the major things that were there, and the community involvement that was there is no longer there. You had community bands coming from Spikestown with the guy Clement Armstrong. You had people coming from all walks of life. They used to come from all parts of the country and take part. But that don't happen now. We down to a small nucleus of people that do everything. And the rest of the people that frightened to come out is down home.